This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Let's continue in the Akdama over here. We're in the paragraph Lochein, page 14. Lochein yesh lachmol ala anoshim hatavum b'havle shov. Unfortunately, we have to look at the people with pity, nebach, on the people that are so busy with hevle yashov, things that just don't mean anything. Things that they're busy with things that just have no meaning, with no real meaning. Lelamdom tzedek. What we have to do is we have to teach them what it means, the weights we spoke about yesterday, idea of understanding the weights, how to use them, and understand the appreciation of money in order to be able to do things. So we have to teach these people what it means to use weights, how to use scales. We're going to teach them what the right way of going is. Because we want a person from the beginning of his path to choose the right way. In other words, that he'll eventually get to a very fresh and fertile place where all the tov is there. And as we said right in the beginning, what is that place? That's Yerushalayim. We want a person to get there, but sometimes we've got to show him the right way, we've got to show him the road. It's like the Messiah to show him right. Kav Halacha Beis Hora'ah. He says, I don't know if you've ever been on it, I've seen it once in England, that they make a real life maze, where you actually are walking through the maze, trying to get to the goal, whatever the goal may be. Right now, in the maze that you see on a piece of paper, you can sort of, with a pencil or pen, whatever, you can try to direct it, try to get to the right way, and you realize it's wrong, you go back again. But in a whole real life maze, you're facing hedges and fences and walls, you have no idea which way you're going, and you get completely lost, right? So there's a guy in like one of those control towers. So he's standing on the top over there, and he says, no, don't go down there. If you go down there, it's going to be 10 minutes delayed, and you realize it's wrong, and you go back on your way, and whole thing. And you're like, excuse me, I'll figure it out myself. I don't need no advice from you. You've got to be a bit of a fool to do that. I understand if you want to have fun, but you've got to be a bit of a fool, especially if they're closing in 20 minutes, to say, no, I don't want my advice. This guy can see all the paths, what's right and what's wrong. Sure. He knows the right way, and therefore, if he's telling you the wrong way is what you're going, go the other way, you better believe him. So what we're saying over here is sometimes we need to direct a person to get to the right way, and eventually he'll reach the goal of Tov, which he calls Yerushalayim. He's Soif Kol HaMaisim, which we explained right at the beginning. That's the end of everything. And this is what it is, Yisbarach Shemai. This is the question that the Rabbeinu Shalom asks every person. Shalom Kol Adam. K'digsiv, and we mentioned this in the beginning. Ma Hashem Alekecha Shalom Mimach. What does the Kadosh Baruch Hu ask from you? Ki im li yira. Kadosh Baruch Hu wants you to fear Him. Ve'ein shum ma'isa nechsho bilti ha'yira Torah. There is nothing more valuable in the world than pure fearing Hashem. If you think about it just for a moment, there are many examples, and I think we'll go through this. Can you imagine a person will always act in the right way and won't do Averos if he fears Hashem? If a person knows HaKadosh Baruch Hu exists and HaKadosh Baruch Hu does everything for him and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the ultimate power, he's not going to do Averos, or he'll minimize the amount of time that he does. He'll act in the appropriate manner, he'll speak the right way, he'll look at the right, everything will be different, his entire life will be different. That's why, if you ask, when you learn this, Yiras Hashem, it sounds like a high level, big tzadikim, big rabbanim. No. Anyone on his level can reach Yiras Hashem, which will lead him to an amazing life. Yesh lahoidia lakol lachein. Yesh lahoidia lakol. Ki kol ish ha'roitzel avi nafshel dei midas tovos. If a person wants his nefesh, he wants to lead himself to good midas, which I think we all do, and I think it's a tremendous avodah for us to work on, and it's a lifetime avodah. It doesn't happen in a day, or a week, or a month, or a year. What he has to do is he has to mix some Yiras Shamayim with every midah. Ki Yiras Hashem hi hakesher shu magzeh b'kol hamidos. That's what we were saying before. If you want to know what upholds, what keeps strong all the midas tovas, and again we're going to go through many of the midas tovas that he mentions over here in the sefer as much as we possibly can, whether it's shara simcha, shara gaiva, shara kas, kina, all sorts of things. There's so many midas that we have to work on that help us for our own lives, whether it's our relationships with our wives, whether it's a relationship with our kids, relationships with our bosses, our chavrusas, our roommates, whatever it may be. There are many midas. The way that keeps it going, that keeps it strong, that keeps it up, is to mix Yiras Shamayim. V'doim l'chut if you have a pearl necklace, so a pearl necklace are very, very expensive. What's keeping it all together? It's the thread that goes in between them. Keeps all. If you snap the thread, it's over. Ain't suffix, no shaila. If you get rid of the knot, you undo the knot, all the pearls, all the diamonds, all the whatever it is are going to fall. Same thing as with Yiras Hashem. He machzekes kol hamidos. Yiras Hashem keeps the midas going, right? It keeps it all strong. If you let go, if you release and untie the kesher of Yira, all the midas tovus are going to separate from you. A person that doesn't have good midas, the Vilna Gaon writes that if you want to know what is your purpose in this world, what is the purpose for the Rabban who created you? What's your purpose? Says the Vilna Gaon tikkun midas. To masaken your midas. Hakadosh Baruch Hu put us on this world in a non-perfect way. Meaning Hakadosh Baruch Hu does everything perfect, but specifically we were made in a way that we can work on our midas, that we can become better people, we can become kinder people, we can become people that think about other people, we can become people that don't become jealous, don't become angry, there's so many things, but we have to work on it. And that, says the Vilna Gaon, is the ikka tachlis of every single person. And he's saying over here is that midas are not just a nice thing. It's not a maila. You have a guy who's a nice guy, you have a guy who's got good midas, alright, so he's got goodness, he's better. No. It's kol ha-Torah kula. Says over on tzadikim, it's because of midas tovus.
Why is Judaism surrounded around Gemara?
That's the question. Why is Judaism surrounded by Torah? So we explained, if you remember, we've explained once previously in a parasha share that we mentioned that Torah is the kesher between us and the Rabbeinu Shalom, and therefore, if the Torah is what connects us to Hashem, then therefore that is Yiddishkeit, because Hashem is everything, and therefore if we connect it to Hashem, we do the mitzvahs, we become better people, we're kinder people. Why? Because we have a connection to Hashem, not just because it's ethical. It's not pshat, this is an ethical sefer of how to act in the workplace, of which there are many books like that, and it's also important, how to act in an ethical way, doctors' ethics. We believe more than that. There's a human being is, at the end of the day, very, very similar to an animal. That's the Metzias. Think about it. We're very similar to an animal. We go on two legs. There are animals that go on two legs. We eat. Animals eat. They sleep. We sleep. We do this. Okay, so we can talk. Many people talk like an animal, so it makes them even more similar to an animal. Right? Say that. But at the end of the day, if that's the case, what really separates from an animal and us is we work on ourselves to become better people. Animals don't do that. Animals don't have that maila, and Torah connects us to Hashem. It's not necessarily the Gemara, it could be Musas Farm, it could be halacha, it could be Chumash, it could be Mishnayos, whatever it is. It's a chelik of Torah. Let's do one more paragraph. Kol ha-midas tovos v'rois, all the midas that are good and bad. Ha-chacham yachal la'asas ha-rois tovos. A chacham, a wise person, can transform evil character traits to tovos, the good ones. Vaksil, and a fool, yasa midas tovos l'rois, he can take midas tovos and turn into bad ones. Misha hoyle b'choshech ve'enim mismonim b'tikkun midas. The person's going in the dark and he doesn't think about misakin his midas. Efshar shitei boy kol midah by midah achas hama'abed is kol zchuyosov. What happens is he can have a situation where he can basically take a certain character trait that will get rid and will lose all of his schuyas. Kigoin, for example. Let's say a person is a big balgaiva. He's doing things, whatever they may be, and they're good things. He's a big balgaiva. Look at me, I'm doing whatever it is. He builds himself up, he's so proud, he's so boastful. What's his kavanah? He wants to be better than everybody else. That's his pshat. He's so busy putting everybody else down and putting himself up. Imagine if a person is filling up a huge barrel of the most beautiful, tasty wine. The bottom of the barrel is a small little crack. In suffix, the most beautiful barrel, but you've got a hole there, you're going to lose the wine. Unless you stuff it up. So to this person who's a big Balgaiva, very proud, too proud. He can be full of Torah, and he's doing the right thing, and he's learning, and he's learning, and he's learning, and he's busy telling everybody how much he's learning, and what he's doing for tzedakah, and he's doing all these things. Because he's a Balgaiva, he loses everything. So therefore, Rabbi said, that's so important it is that he tells us to remember how chashuv it is to work on midas tovis, to work on atik and amidas, and that's what the Rabbi wants from us. And we'll continue Be'ez Hashem the next paragraph.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.